Hello everyone, this channel is Foreign Love Language. Well, you can learn about like the language and the linguistics, or you can get information from me like that I've been experiencing so far. Like, Then today's topic is IELTS, or like specifically like in the speaking section. Because like the reason why I choose this topic is like I just taken IELTS several days or several weeks ago. So then outcome the results like came out, then which was fine, which was an average, or a little bit higher than average, but was not excellent. First of all, first I I aimed to get like an above 7 point or seven score, which is C1, but actually I got 6.5, which is like really higher upper intermediation, like that is almost C1, but in reality, I mean like the B2 level. That was really close, I actually I could have got, if I had been able to like get 1 point score like on one of the all like sections. I could get like 7.7 score, which is C1. Like the C1, to get C1 is my ultimate dream, during the university. So, well, I'm gonna challenge to get the verb like more than a 7.5, 7.7 score before the graduation. Well, anyway, the obvious fact that IELTS has for section, every language has four section, or has four components: reading, writing, and speaking and listening. Yeah. Then my weakest section was listening. That was like 6. Then my strongest point was reading, and writing, and speaking was moderate. Was a little bit higher than average. So first I needed to improve the listening section. But here's one tricky point in here. Which is just I've been listening in American English so far, since I dived into the English word, the learning languages word. So, well, although it's kind of an excuse, I haven't got accustomed to British English or Australian English. So this is one of one of the cause that I got the weakest point on the listening section. So now I am listening British English. I am listening to podcasts in British English, in order to get accustomed. But now it's fine. It's been well. It's been a while, so and everything goes fine. Then the writing I think is the most tricky and difficult one, over the section. Although I got 6 point, the previous like test, but I needed to improve that. I keep going like to practice that. Well, when it comes to writing, well, the first thing that I have to do is just like to imitate or to copy the answer like written by native speaker of English in IELTS writing section. Just like copy the writing and writing it down in the copy way. So then like naturally, sorry, like the videos interrupts like the conversation, disrupts the conversation even though that I was speaking. Well, anyway, I'm gonna pick up where I left before just a moment ago. So writing, when it comes to writing, just like copy the answers like written by native speaker of English, which is like correct one, which is the most closest way to improve like my writing skill. Like while writing and while copying the answers, like the structure of the essay and describing the graphs or charts like by native speaker, like I can learn how to make the structure, how to make the construction essay and graphs and charts like description of graph or by my heart intuitively. So I'm gonna do that. Well, the next step is just write by myself without any help and without any like answer, provided answer. So there are substantial amount of the questions and problems like in the web or internet, so I can search it. Then I can search for the questions and the problems, just questions. Then I can answer tackling, and I can answer and tackle into make the essay and the description of the charts and the graph by myself. Yeah. Then which is a correct way, which is a proper way to pass, to get more than a 6.5 score on the writing section. Well, so let's get moving into the speaking section. Speaking section, it definitely depends on the person, the individual language competence. However, if you are able to speak to yourself, to even native speakers of English naturally, as natural as the other just normal people or people who are native speaker of English, or without any hesitation, without any cowardice, then the only thing you have to do is just speak slowly and pondering on infinite thoughts. The infinite thoughts that are coming up with your mind, and with consistency and coherence. There are three main pillars when it comes to speaking. Speak slowly, and coherence, and consistency. Just speak it slowly, to make view with opponent understood, comprehended what I'm talking about, what I'm saying. You can speak the same speed as I'm speaking right now, Yeah, in a moderate way, in a moderate rate. You don't have to speak first as just like as a native speaker, as Americans do in a TV show. You know, if you have ever watched, if you had ever watched like TV show, American TV shows such as just like Suits or especially specifically like focusing on business, like they're appearing stories appearing the main characters and like people are speaking really fast, like on the Suits or maybe Friends or like That's Heavenly Shows or Office, something like that. So, but you're not a native speaker of English, so you don't have to speak first and as a native speaker of English. Just you have to consider like to make it in the viewers, to make the opponent like comprehend it what you're saying, and so, which is really correct, which is really important. Unfortunately, like sadly, I didn't know like until that I got the result. Not until did I realize, oh, like this is a correct way to speak slowly. So, to try to like to make the opponent understood what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna speak from now on, like to speak a little bit slower than I used to speak in that I was speaking a moment ago. Well, the second of all, like consistency. And like, hey, I'm gonna like speak or I'm gonna explain the consistency and the coherence like all in one go, because like these two components are corresponding in each other, are like the tangling and with nature. So that's why you have to consider them like when you speak while you're speaking to the interviewee. Anyway, the reason why you speak slowly, of course, like the one reason is to, of course, as I said, to make it in the viewers understood what I'm saying. But second of all, it's just like to make time, make a, few time, make a like little time to consider, to think clearly, profoundly, like of ideas coming up with your mind. So, if you were to speak like slowly, then you can like reckon or you can ponder on like a substantial or immense amounts of like ideas or thoughts or that you're having while you're speaking. So you can get straight them, then you can answer correctly, appropriately, And also sometimes like the interviewers provides me with just like their such cumbersome questions, difficult questions to answer. Then you can use like kind of like phrases just like such as can I give you a second, like to answer, to think clearly, to think profoundly. Then almost all bad interviewers say just like, yeah, sure, something like that, so that you can think, you can ponder on like lots of like the substantial amount of like thoughts that you're having like to answer the question correctly. Then just don't forget to speak slowly, to make time. Then, while you're speaking, you need to consider, you need to think of the ideas, like a number of ideas. Yeah, as I'm saying, as I'm doing, like, just as the same way as I said, the same, I'm doing the same way as I said. one important tip for non-native speaker of English or people who are learning English. Just because speaking fast doesn't mean like you can gloss over the liaison or the fluency of your English proficiency. So you just speak slowly, not slowly, but in the moderate rate, in the moderate speed. So you don't have to speak faster and as fast as just like the people appearing on a TV sitcom or a TV show. So yeah, and just like intelligibly, coherently, and consistently. Sorry. Well, which are the really important components like when it comes to speaking section. As I said, like it is not only that I realized these components are really important. Speaking slowly are really important like when it comes to speaking. So as a matter of fact, I spoke first like that. I felt like and I spoke math, so that's why I could get just like more than like 7.5 or something like that. But as a result, in reality, I just got only 6, which was bad for me in my opinion. So, but I just like a number of times that I thinking that I recorded at the moment. So if I could speak slowly and as well just like as pondering and on the thoughts, as pondering and on a substantial amount of like thoughts with consistency and coherency and proficiency. It just happened like again. Well, not again. I don't want to struggle with this problem. Probably like my iCloud, the capacity or storage is almost full, so it automatically like disrupts the video, recording the video. Wow, which is like irritating. Well, anyway, let me go back to the story. So I just started speaking or pronounce like clearly, flatly, and speaking like slowly, with consistency and coherence. Since the result came there, since that I had realized that speaking slowly, the consistency and coherence are important. Overarching component when it comes on the speaking section. So now, okay. So lastly, the reading. The reading is the most strongest point that I got 7, like which is like C1 advanced level. So when it comes to reading, I just keep going reading the infinite amount of like the English article and international news and like novels, the textbook and the specialized textbook in linguistics or any like convoluted topic and a convoluted theme. So yeah, if I kept going, if I kept reading like out of the great amount of the books and articles in English, and I comprehend like all of the topics, all of the content, all of the component, all of the content, comprehend all about the content. I believed. I believe that I can get like more than a 7 point, will be which will be like 7.5 or maybe 8. Yeah, if I were able to like get like 8, then and I think I might be able to like get like the 7 point or 7.5, as an overall point. So yeah. Well, in a harsh reality, I'm really busy. I'm tied up with like job hunting and making a thesis, improving in English, and of course, and studying linguistics too, like for the entrance examination of the grad school. My first aim is to step up grad school, but I was struggling like with the monetary help and monetary like problems, monetary struggling. And if I can get a scholarship and a fellowship, then I'll step up grad school. But you know, getting a scholarship like is not easy. It's not easy as like and I think and I thought like before. So well, I'm seeking for like in other ways or another ways like to overwhelm this situation like this type of situation. That even like job hunting like the due to the coronavirus like it's getting harder and harder. I don't have like any promise contract like with any firm, so I need to seek for like any conference which is relevant to English, which is relevant to language. So I just want to make the utmost like utmost sort of I just want to make the utmost use of like my language competence, my English competence, like so that's why I'm like seeking for the firms which are like relevant to language or in English. But the reality is harsh. I've ever got rejected by I don't know like the several approximately like 10 or 15 companies. So that was so disappointing. I'm already disappointed about myself, so but I needed to keep going. I have to make progress. This is what I have to do right now. So, well, as a matter of fact, I want to end up like doing job hunting and or getting a job. So by the time when I would have ended up like job hunting, and I will be able to focus on the thesis and as well just like the study of linguistics. So well, my ideal goal is like to finish the job hunting until the autumn, until the end of this summer. Well, to be honest, until like by August. So, well, I'm gonna do that. I do my best for getting a job. Well, this video means just like for not only the like any viewers but also like to myself. So I'm speaking to myself to tighten my tie. So, well, anyway, I'm really tied up. So, then this video means just like this video's aim is to practice my speaking. As I said, I just realized or just started speaking slowly. Then I'm like trying to considering and speaking slower than I used to speak. So, do you feel that? What are you thinking about my speaking speed? So, or my pronunciation, my speaking competence or skills? If you have any questions or comments or thoughts, please leave a comment. Please leave the comments on the comment section. So if you like this video, please hit the bell, please hit the like button, and please subscribe to the channel. Well, I'm gonna end up like this video from now on, so I'm gonna see you guys for another videos. Bye.